Lincoln Land Detailing. I'm going to show you how to pretty much just do like a full detail on your car. Some of the tips and tricks I use, some of the brushes I use, a little bit of the chemicals. Everything I do is not a secret. It's work at the end of the day, and it's the hours that you want to put into a car. So as good as you want to make it is, you know, how much time you want to put into it. So today, or we've been doing the past couple of times, exterior only, and I think it's good to kind of touch base on the interior. Most of y'all keep y'all's interior pretty pristine compared to my vehicles, but you know, there's still things like over time, if you just wipe them out and you vacuum them out, there's still going to be things caught in your grain of your leather or your plastics and stuff like that, and I'll show you how to get those out and kind of condition that. So I guess we'll start with that so we don't get any stuff on the interior of our car when we wash it.
They're in the console.
How did you get picked from the wash your car?
Because my car was never clean.
If y'all want to come take a look at this door, there's a lot of white in the grain of this door, and I'm going to show you how to get that out. Hopefully. I'll say that.
Come out the window channel, or does it go
Just pretty much the grain of this plastic. If somebody, where somebody would lay their arm.
Like deodorant?
Yeah.
Yeah, lotion, suntan.
Like in my truck?
Yeah.
Makeup, whatever.
Deodorant.
So.
But not baby oil.
But not, yeah. I get that off most of the time before we get the vehicle.
So, all right. If everybody's looked at it, I will. You should show me them towels. What are you doing today, Mr. Keith?
I'm good, yourself?
Pretty good. You didn't make it all the way to the shop, did you?
No, I checked before I left the house.
I appreciate that.
So,
Have you got a piece of tape there?
You,
So what?
You got a piece of tape?
Tape?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Okay. I can use this on this bottle here.
I like his garage. Get him come out and design mine.
I'm just going to put this piece of tape here so we can notice the difference. The biggest thing with interiors is these little triangle brushes. They're so stiff and they're so small. These little bristles will get down in the leather, and it's not like when you get a one of these, they just get smushed and they don't do anything. You're not allowed, you can't apply pressure to it because it just moves around. These are so little, they're just going to get in the grain of the leather or the plastics, and they're going to allow you to get whatever you need to out.
is that just any type of cleaner you're using there? Or?
This is all-purpose, diluted down 10 to 1, and that's McGuire's. I'll post all the links to the products that we use, but
Cool.
I always spray the product on the brush. You don't ever want to spray anything on the surface. A lot of times if the surface is hot, let it cool down. But when you use these, you'll see that the brush will start kicking out some of the any kind of dirt or makeup lotion or deodorant if you're in Bo's vehicle.
Yes.
That's baby oil.
Bo's truck.
Yeah, baby oil. Damn.
Hey, you know,
Vaseline.
Huh?
whatever, you gotta do what you gotta do
That
sometimes.
escalated quickly.
You gotta make it work, you know?
Bo's here. This is gonna get wild. Just kind of do it in circular motions.
Y'all did warn everybody I was coming, right?
Sometimes it'll come out faster than others. So when you clean vehicles with your all-purpose, you're stripping all of the oils and any protectant on your surface off to clean. So when you clean it, you know, when you get the stuff off, it's not going to be protected. So the biggest thing is to protect it afterwards. A lot of people think that it's going to be protected once you use all-purpose, and that's actually how a lot of seats dry out and crack over time, is because they're not protected after they're cleaned. But it's not perfect results, but you can see just in the grain.
Yeah, damn.
And that's without protection. So the protection will re-oil that and kind of darken any other light areas through there. But it's when you're doing interior or any kind of detailing, it's all in the tools. That's how you work the tools. So I didn't do a
Is that
whole.
like a cloth on there?
You can
Where'd you get that little brush, Drew?
Yes, like a cloth.
Optimum,
At the Kroger?
Kroger? No.
You have that, a link for that in there too?
I will.
Okay, thank you.
Let me grab this leather protector.
I
This is
thought you
optional
sold all
stain.
this stuff too.
Huh?
Sell
Yeah.
all the brushes too. This is supposed to be easy. One stop.
It is easy. What part's hard?
I don't know, she cleans.
It didn't matter.
So,
I get yelled at every time I try to clean.
Yeah.
I just get a little bit of leather protecting. If you want to do like over the counter, Lexol's good brand. Just put it on there, really.
So you just use the same stuff on your seats as you would your door?
Yeah, exactly. So anything with grain or pores or anything like plastic, stuff like that, that leather brush wherever it
It's
went.
right here.
Okay. This will clean anything. Obviously don't use it on your paint or anything like that, but it's for all panels on the interior.
Suede and.
Yeah, suede. With suede, you can use that. I like to use for suede just another dry towel.
Okay.
With the no rinse, just kind of dab it on there, and I'll go over no rinse before we leave when we do the outside. But now it's protected. You can kind of feel a big difference where it's here and it's not protected. We'll do the. You can see a difference too, really. But I'll do your door.
That one spot in there.
Yeah. That's what she complained about
That's
most
just
last year, is I only did like half
You're gonna have
of it.
spots, now you're gonna have
Half the hood.
to clean it.
I'm gonna do like a
But,
zebra.
so like the interior, like if you're doing like dash and stuff like that, this is a brush that I really like, and I'll post a link to it as well. It's stiffer, so it's gonna allow you, I like to pinch the bristles and just kind of shove them anywhere I need. Just a little bit of no rinse or a little soap in a bottle is all you need, or if it's, I try to use as less chemicals in the car as possible. Unless it's like dirty, you can physically see the dirt like we could in the panels here. Then you can use all-purpose. The no rinse or a soap in a bottle, if you're just chasing dust, I mean, that's the best thing for it. Water's not gonna hurt your car.
So the no rinse is the way to go on the inside too?
Yeah, I mean, you can use that, and the thing is with the no rinse, if everybody doesn't know, that is, the no rinse is a pH neutral chemical, so when you have pH neutral chemicals, you're not gonna harm anything. A pH neutral chemical can go on any surface without harming anything. You can do your countertops, stovetop, anything with it. And then since it is pH neutral, anywhere that has hard water, that no rinse will neutralize that water. And any water spots that go on top of the surface, that if, let's say you're washing it outside, those water spots will wipe right off since it's neutralized. But when you do your interior, I pull these, the seats to where you can get the cracks. First time, I usually just, I dust everything to the floorboard. I do the carpets last. Obviously, I push everything to the floorboard, kind of top down like you would wash a car, and then just do the carpets last. Some people like to do like an initial vacuum. I kind of do that. I always clean the seat that I'm going to be sitting in, so when I'm detailing, I'll clean the seat, then I'll sit in the seat. That way, I don't know, I just want to be in a clean seat when I clean. But, and then I work my way around, and then, wipe off the seat one more time. But a good, efficient way to do it is just do your whole interior with all-purpose or soapy water, and then go back and protect all of it. Protection.
Do it,
But,
then you put the rubber.
as far as interior is pretty self-explanatory. Did I miss something?
No,
Yes. You go right ahead.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
He's right next to the camera.
Oh, the camera picked that up, don't worry.
Do what?
The camera picked that up.
Okay.
It'll be on YouTube tonight.
Asshole. So I mean, plastics and leather are cleaned the same way. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time being redundant on the interior. The only extra thing would be is to clean the glass, which is there's a glass towel. Oh, no, Chip. Appreciate it. These glass towels are obviously made for glass. The way I clean glass is, where's your keys? Do I still have your keys? This is half my day right here. Where's the keys?
Does that tag back in the same thing you pull out the bag or different type?
Hmm?
Is that the same kind you pull out the bag right there, or is that different?
No, this is a different type, but you could use that.
No.
It's a glass towel. You've heard of that.
This is exactly why I always leave down the
Are they on top of the car?
A couple sets.
Are you back here?
There's your keys back here.
Oh, they're back here.
Might be mine.
Good eye. So when I do windows, you can do windows with anything. I usually just get a regular old towel and get my bucket of no rinse. I soak the towel. I have one soaking wet towel. And what this towel is going to do is going to agitate any dirt, get all the dirt off of the window, and then basically the glass towel is going to leave it streak free, but it's also going to dry the window. So I start with corners and then fill in the middle. Same thing with dry towel.
It's not gonna hurt the tin?
Nope, it's like
There's no ammonia in
there's no ammonia, and since it's a pH neutral chemical and essentially a high dilution of water, it's not going to hurt anything.
it. Yeah, do you have those towels?
I don't. I will. I have write-ups of all of this that we're going over, and I will.
That's something I like, those, I never heard of glass towels.
I didn't know you
You
was.
can't buy them at Walmart.
Huh?
You can't buy them at Walmart.
I've never seen them. There's different variations
over
of
here?
glass towels. I like these, and I can pass it around, but I like these a whole lot better, just because the slickness of it, it absorbs the water well, and still leaves it streak free.
I like the lint particles of the odors.
Hey, what?
I like the lint particles.
You like it, you more public?
Just gives it, you know, more.
Little character.
Little character.
A little bit sparkle?
Yes.
I guess.
That's
But
why you
pretty-
don't clean.
Yeah, he likes that. I mean, and essentially, if you don't have this glass towel, you could do the same with this, but there will be lint if you use a wash towel. But these towels, I use, so you'll see that they're two-sided. This side's to use it as wet if you wanted to, and then this side's as dry. Since those towels are a little bit more expensive, I just use one of these for a wet towel.
Did you touch it?
You sure?
I'm good. It's like I'm trying to.
He's something else.
It's kind of-
Yes.
I'm gonna show you
It's
how to
never a
wash
dull
it
moment, I
with that,
promise.
neck.
And my son's like me, we just sit here and go.
Since it's a pH neutral chemical, you can use it to clean anything. And you can,
He's always a
the
joke,
biggest thing is,
cut
a lot of
up,
people, when I started
always.
doing all this many years ago, I would go to the store
Did you
and
good?
I would worry myself if I'm buying the best product, the best chemical, or is this gonna hurt this, or is this gonna hurt that? Like, it's,
Did you say?
the less chemicals you introduce in a detail and the less chemicals you have to confuse yourself with, the better. One thing does it all for me,
Yeah, two places.
So that's the name.
optimum no rinse.
That's all I
My
use.
windows are always straight.
Yeah, you like it?
Sometimes I foam it,
Yeah, some people like the foam.
but most of the time, that's what I use.
We use it on our countertops, it's like a shower.
I don't use it in the house, but I use it on the phone.
He's talking about the
No, that's
front.
opposite.
Oh, I already told you about
Yeah,
that.
that's opposite. The no
Throwaway
rinse
towels, yeah.
is in a
You drop
gallon,
it,
it's
you
right
gotta
up there
throw it
next to the
away.
freezer.
I like
That's,
glass
that's
towels.
some over there.
Oh, yeah, that's the bomb.
Throw it
That's the
away.
stuff that I use when I go to car shows, like it's diluted in a
It's
space.
one, yeah, it's 1 ounce of 2 gallons of water.
Yeah.
For 2.5 gallons, it's 2 capfuls, so, usually consumers usually buy it on a 32 ounce, that's 128, so. But, I mean, 32 ounces, 20, the whole gallon is 40, so, you know what I mean? So, for those that don't know how to use the no rinse, a lot of y'all do. The no rinse is designed to go on dry. The reason being is because most of your chemicals, or when your traditional washing methods go on, your soap acts as your lubricant. When you spray that off, you don't have anything to help reduce the friction on the paint. So when you spray your soap off, your soap is taken away, and when you dry it, that's when your scratches come. So the no rinse is designed to go on dry, and then it's designed to dry off. So you have lubricant going on and lubricant going off. It's going to be a whole lot quicker. You're not going to chase water in and out of your tracks, have your cracks and crevices, and it's really good for like a cold afternoon. And it's really good for a cold afternoon to shut the garage and have a hot bucket of water.
That's one thing since I've been doing it, that I use hardly any water. And I can do it in the garage, there's nothing left on the ground, it's awesome.
Getting half of a free car wash today.
Yeah. Well, hopefully if she learns a lot, she'll figure out how to do the rest of the car. One thing that I'm gonna do in between is clay the car. I don't know if y'all heard a lot about claying cars. People that have been to me that have had a car coated, this step is not necessary. But if you have like a daily driver or whichever, claying the car will decontaminate your surface. And what that does is, if you can hear your car, there's stuff contaminated to the surface. Technology just came a long way. Back in the day, clay was actual clay. You knead it up in your hand, and once it got dirty, you would keep kneading it. This is a clay towel. This will make this job a whole lot easier. The biggest thing is, you always have to have lubricant under your car. Anytime you touch your car, you want something to help reduce the friction between a towel, your hand, any kind of product you're putting on.
So how long does that towel last?
This towel will last
I mean, I
about
guess,
40 or 50 cars.
okay.
Wow.
I use those clay bars, and you know, you just keep folding and kneading it and stuff, and
So, and then a lot of times, when people clay a car, they'll wash the car, they'll spray the car off, get the soap on, and then they'll spray the soap off, and then they'll dry the car, and then they'll get the car wet again. And I mean, it's just a lot of redundant steps to me. When the car's wet and it's got soap on it, you can go ahead, especially with no rinse, the way it's designed, you can go ahead and clay it in between. That way you can wash, clay, and dry without getting your car wet a redundant amount of time, which saves a whole lot of time. One thing that I do is use OptiSeal. The polymers in OptiSeal, or let me back up. Polymers is what helps bead up water. So we can use this to our advantage when we dry. We can just spray it on here. We are diluting everything down. But when you use polymers to help dry, kind of creating like an oil and water effect. And the water is going to not cling to the surface, but when you spread them out with a dry towel, you're going to more or less push itself right into the towel. So this little section right here on our car has been washed, clayed, and now dried within a few seconds. There's some tar on the bottom here. Let's see. So, and then I don't know if y'all can see this, but since we are spraying the polymers apart, you can see it's starting to get dark in certain areas, all through here. Those polymers just need to be washed off. They're not going to hurt your car if you leave them outside, if you're doing it outside or anything weird like that. It'll eventually take itself off. But I just followed up with a rag, grab any water that was left over.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I mean, like he's doing, you can go back there and feel the difference between the trunk and this panel. But like for your daily drivers, or you know, if you're wanting to hold off for a coating and correction and stuff like that, this is going to protect your vehicle. So, and it's going to, I mean, you come up and feel this car, and feel how slick this is, and we just did this in a matter of 5 minutes.
So, you gonna do the other side there?
Well,
you need another demonstration?
yeah.
I didn't get all that. I didn't get all
Well,
that.
I can walk you through the other side, and hopefully we can figure out where you're lacking and the misunderstanding is.
It's
No.
pretty simple. You wash it, then you put dirt on it, and then you wash it.
Wash it. They're not-
Wash it.
Worse.
Wash it.
We're adding a vowel. But, worse.
He really wanted to be honored, he was just doing stripes, about a foot back.
But, I mean, and the value of doing the no rinse is you can do this whole side without it worrying to be dried in the sun. So you can do literally half the car, you can do a panel at a time, whatever makes you feel comfortable, you can do. As far as wheels, you can do the exact same thing on your wheels. So wheels get a lot hotter than a panel surface. You can still use the OptiSeal on there to help you dry it. The biggest thing with wheels is I hate cleaning them just because it always collects a lot of water. Have you got a hose, Eric?
I do, it's right behind you.
Can we pull this out?
Yeah.
Let's pull it out. I want to spray these wheels normally. They're a little dirty.